Hey, welcome kids. Sorry we can't be there in person, but we are coming to you virtually, I guess, and hopefully next year will work out for us to come and visit you guys. But today we want to talk about being prepared for emergencies like severe storms, tornadoes. How many of you have probably read the I Survived books, those series, right? I love those books. They're awesome. I wonder how many of you have actually read the I Survived the Joplin Tornado? Some of you? All right, cool. Hey, I actually was in Joplin when the tornado hit. And a lot like how that book describes it is exactly how it was. It was a nice day. We had kind of warning that there might be some bad storms coming through, but honestly, we kind of got lazy. We were kind of like, all right, no big deal, just another storm coming through. And then it turned really bad really quick, and a lot of people weren't prepared, and we don't want that for you. So it can happen anywhere at any time. And so being prepared kind of helps take off that edge a little bit. So what we have here is kind of an example of what an emergency kit you might want to have stored at your house. This is something definitely to go through with your family to discuss, and definitely to get the supplies that you need for your emergency kit. So first thing we're going to pull out here, let's look in here, and Fire Pup, did you put this in here? All right. Why would we have a stuffed animal in here? Because you're scared, right? So having something that you can hold on to during the storm, that's an important thing. So yeah, go ahead, throw a stuffed animal in there. That's all right. Or your favorite toy. And we got a toolbox, right? So we can have all our tools in there, because if we maybe get stuck in wherever our safe spot is, and that's an important part that you need to know with your parents, is where do we go if there is a tornado or we have to take shelter? Where are we going? Basement or someplace with no windows, or the center part of our house type thing. Discuss that so everybody knows where to meet at. So having tools in there to help out if there's certain things that maybe you can do to get yourself out, right? A first aid kit, definitely need to have that. In some first aid kits, they have medication or something in it, and you need to write the expiration date on the outside of your whole kit of stuff that expires, and don't say what it is, just write expiration date and whatever it is, and that forces you to go through your whole kit and maybe readdress some stuff like, hey, this is no longer any good. And then once you do that, you can mark out that expiration date and what's the next thing that's going to expire. So it keeps you coming back to your emergency kit and keeping it well stocked. Because why do we have clothes in here? Look at this. We got clothes in here. Why would we need that? Well, if a tornado comes through, the clothes that you have on might be the only clothes that you have. So, but you all are growing, right? So we put clothes in here, then we forget about it. 3 years later, you're probably not going to fit into those same clothes, right? So the expiration date, again, is going to make you come back, look at it. Hey, those clothes aren't going to fit me anymore. Put in different clothes and have those in there. Towels and blankets, just stay warm, to keep dry. Toilet paper, definitely always an emergency there, needing that. Paper plates to eat off of. And what kind of food would we put in here? Are we going to put like apples and bananas and meat? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to put foods that aren't going to spoil, and so more and stuff that we can maybe just eat as is, because we might not have some way to heat it. So canned goods, and we want to make sure that they're not really salty, because we might not have water. Which brings us to the next part: is how much water should we keep in stock? Well, maybe a little bit more than this, right? So any guesses on how much water you think we might need? All right, so the actual recommendation is 1 gallon per person. So if you have a family of 4, you need to have 4 gallons, right? But that's only for 1 day. So they actually are saying that you need 1 gallon per day, and they recommend for 3 days worth. So you need to have 3 days worth of clothes and food and water. So that means, if you're really good with math, I'm not, but that actually means if you have a family of 4 and you need a gallon per person for 3 days, that's going to be 12 gallons that you're going to need. So are we going to put 12 huge gallons in here? No, usually you can just maybe get bottles of water and figure it up and keep it that way. But you're only going to drink half of that. So what are you going to do with the other half? Maybe wash yourself a little bit with it. And so you could have some of the, or wet wipes type thing to keep yourself clean. Your utensils, right, that you use to cook, you can use that water to clean that as well. So stuff like that to keep on hand. If you're going to do perishable or non-perishable foods, definitely need to have a can opener, flashlight, right, just in case the power goes out. As we spoke about tools already, but duct tape can fix everything with duct tape, right? We talked about soap that you might need to wash your utensils. Oh, we got a whistle. Fire Pup found your whistle. We were looking for this earlier. But this is actually for our emergency kit. Why would we need this? So if you're trapped and as we come out and we're searching for people, you hear us yelling out, sometimes your yelling can get muffled out by the motors and other stuff that's going on. So having a whistle will actually help you. You can blow that and it cuts through all that so we can actually hear and we can say, hey, we're going to concentrate all our efforts over here to get the people out. So having a whistle on hand. This is something that most people don't think about, but card games, board games, why would we need that? Well, if you're in the place and you're stuck, you know, having something to do fun with your family to just pass the time. This is something that can do that, because I know you guys all love your tablets and phones and stuff like that, but if there's no power, eventually those are going to die, and you want to save the battery on those so that you can maybe try to reach out and call for help. So having a board game or something like that to play can help pass the time as well. All right, let's look and see what's the next thing that we can pull out here. Well, look at this. We got matches in here, right? So matches can be helpful if we do have candles. We can light those for light. But then also if we need to heat some food, we can use the matches that way. But we need to make sure that they're waterproof, or we keep them in a Tupperware container so that they don't get wet if rain gets in or something. So keeping it that way, that will keep those safe so that we can use those. So that's the kit that we have. Just some examples of things, especially the water and food, very important part, and keeping stuff well stocked. So talk to your parents, talk to your family, see if you guys can come up with some other ideas of what you might want to have in the emergency kits. And just remember, 3 days is what you need to be looking at of being prepared for, and just keep yourself prepared and ready to go. We'll see you guys next year.